Hey, how's it going, guys? Neolitic here, and today we're going to build a PC. Maybe not the PC that you're expecting. This is going to be an office PC that can be upgradable in the future as a gaming PC. Stick around and let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's start talking about the parts first before we start on the build. What we have for the CPU is an AMD Ryzen 3 3200G. It comes with 4 cores, 4 threads. It was on sale, that's why I purchased this one. I was actually aiming for a 3100, but it's nowhere to be found. It's all out of stock, so I settled with this one. I guess it's gonna do the job done. I mean, it's only an office PC. It's just about Microsoft Office, all that stuff. But I kind of want to try to do gaming with this one since it does have an integrated graphics, the Radeon Vega 8 graphics. So I guess this is a good buy. You know, for $100, I think that's a good buy. And then we're gonna be using a ASRock B450M Pro 4. Why did I buy this? Because it was cheap, and it's definitely gonna be future-proofing this build because we might upgrade our CPU in the near future. And then we have the RAM that we have. This is actually a used RAM that I already have here, but if you're planning to kind of copy this build, you can get maybe a $70 RAM, 70 to 80 bucks RAM. This is just a DDR4 Ballistics, and it's running at 2400 megahertz, so it's kind of slow, but we'll use what we have. Let's talk about the power supply. Power supply is an EVGA 550 watts. Yeah, EVGA Supernova. I could have gone like a lower wattage, but like what I said earlier, I want to future-proof this PC, so in the future maybe I can just add a graphics card and maybe a 3070. That's the graphics card that I was thinking. This power supply could definitely support a 3070 in the future if I want to buy one. What we have over here is the Intel, just an Intel, forgot the model. It was $82 when I bought it. It's a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, and it's definitely gonna make the applications load faster, or if I add games to it, definitely needed an SSD. So I didn't settle for an external hard drive because SSDs are super cheap now. So my dad can store. This PC is for my dad, so he can store more files, I guess, on the SSD. So that's why we purchased a 1 terabyte instead of like lower. But you can add an external hard drive, of course, if you have a lot of files. And we're gonna put everything, all these parts, in the Cooler Master NR200. I was really looking at this case. I've seen some reviews, and there's a lot of positive reviews with this case. When I saw it, it's really nice. I actually want to build a small form factor PC because I've been building PC all in mid towers or full towers. So I want to have an experience with smaller form factor case. And this is definitely going to be my first time building on a smaller case. And a lot of positive feedbacks on this one, so that's why I purchased this one. And I actually bought the white one because I like white and it's really looking nice. So yeah, so that's everything that I have right now. Possible upgrades for the future on all of these is a little bit of better CPU, maybe a Ryzen 5600X if that's gonna be available. For the graphics card, I was thinking of a 3060 Ti or a 3070. So yeah, that's it for the parts, and let's start with the build. Let's go. Yo guys, sorry for the interruption, but I had to stop building because we have a very bad news. Actually, the motherboard doesn't fit the case. It is a micro ATX. The NR200 is capable of having many ITX inside. I just didn't bother checking the dimensions. It's just my inexperience is showing. I just assumed that micro ATX would fit. That's the bad news number one. Bad news number two, there was a little incident happened. I was exhausted, and at the same time I was kind of frustrated that, you know, I couldn't finish the build that night because it doesn't fit. Disconnected everything, put everything back together to where it was in the box. And when it's time for the cooler, I loosened the cooler, you know, to get the CPU. As I was taking off the cooler, I couldn't remove it. I double checked, everything is loose, and as I pull it hard, the CPU was pulled as well, while the lock is still on. So to my surprise, I'm like, where's the CPU? Oh damn, it's like right here on the CPU cooler as well. It's like stuck there. It's because the thermal paste was I guess vacuumed in between the CPU cooler and the CPU itself. It got stuck there. I'm like, oh hopefully nothing is broken on the motherboard. I mean, it looks fine and everything. And then I look at the CPU stuck on that CPU cooler. There's like 4 bent pins. I was like, oh my god, how worse can it even be right now? I decided, you know, it's already broken. Might as well just try to fix it, right? So I tried everything. I was fixing it for 2 hours. I used like a flathead screwdriver, like the small one, and you know, it just doesn't fit. These are the straight pins, and the 4 bent pins are kind of like right here. And the flathead screwdriver cannot fit here to straighten it up. I use like a floss, you know, the has a plastic, and then the floss, the dental floss. I tried to use the string to just try to make it straight. I think that's the only thing that could fit there, or a needle, but I couldn't find a needle. I got it to where it's not so straight, but maybe this could work. The 4 broken pins is on the right side of the CPU. I tried to put it on the socket, and only the left side is going down. I had an idea. There's a 50-50 chance that it's gonna make it worse. My idea was to put it on the right side first, because that's the one that has bent pins, and then push it, and then eventually the left side, which is good, is gonna go in as well, because it's kind of like going like this, right? So what I did is I put it right here on the right side first, push it, and then eventually it went in, and I looked at it and I'm like, oh my god, everything lined up. So here's where we are right now. I reinstalled everything because now I need to see if the CPU still works. So I just put it on I just put this on the motherboard box. The pin, I just put it right here. I was trying to do the jump start using the screwdriver, but it doesn't work. For the power and the ground, it doesn't work. Maybe the screwdriver I'm using is not, I don't know, metal on at the end. But here you go, let's try it out. Hopefully there's a boot. Oh my god, yes. Pressing delete right now. Okay, so... oh my god, it worked. I gotta make sure that this works first though. So what I'm trying to do right now is I will install Windows. I'm gonna stress test the CPU. And if everything works, nothing is messed up, we'll continue the build. Alright guys, so we do have the system here. I replaced the motherboard with a Gigabyte Aorus B450i, so it fits now because that's a mini ITX. And now we're gonna do just a little bit of benchmark and a little bit of games. We're gonna play a little bit of games so you could see what's the potential of this machine, and we'll do that right now. That's our score, 3693. So next one is Heaven. We're gonna run everything on low because we're not expecting anything, just to get an idea of the performance of this PC. So we do have an average of 54.9. Minimum, whoa, it dipped down to 8. And max is 97. So alright, so we're gonna try Overwatch. It's not really a demanding game. I'm setting everything to 1080p low settings. Everything would be low. It's kind of sluggish. I have like around 50 FPS, 50, 60 FPS right now. Dipping down to like around 45. It's actually not bad. It's playable. Maybe I should drop it down to 75% render scale. Let me see. Let's put it to 75%. And FPS should probably go higher. See? It's already at 80. It was around 60. Dips at 40 and then average like around 50 to 60. After putting in the render scale of 75%, I went to like 80 to 100. So there you go. Okay, so we're gonna try another game here. It's gonna be Rainbow Six Siege. Like right now, it's kind of the same. It's like at 69 right now, 68, 70. I guess there's like less shit going on here compared to Overwatch. Overwatch, there's a lot of ultimates and all that stuff. Right here, it's around 70 right now. Alright, so according to our Fraps data, so for Overwatch, we have an average of 62 FPS. Minimum is 37, then maximum is 89. For Rainbow Six Siege, it's a little bit better. We had an average of 72. Average of 72 FPS, minimum of 62, and a maximum of 96 FPS. Should we try one more game? We're gonna test out some Valorant right now. We're just gonna do some deathmatch. Right off the bat, we do have a high FPS, so it's pretty good. Everything is on low, by the way. So this is just deathmatch. Oof, okay. Wait, I can buy a weapon? Oh. I forgot the weapons here. I'll just do this. Alright, so for Valorant, everything on low. We do have an average of 99 FPS. Minimum of 59 and a maximum of 123. Alright guys, so we are done with the benchmark for this PC. You know, it gets the job done. You can definitely use it as your regular for your daily needs, you know, office needs. But it can also game as well, you know, so not the graphics intensive games, of course, but you know, I was able to play Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, and Overwatch with this. You know, the FPS is pretty decent, especially with Valorant. I specifically played first-person shooter games with this one because there's not really that much going on in those. On Overwatch, I struggle a little bit because in Overwatch there's like a lot of skills in there, a lot of animations. So that's why I didn't even try playing MOBA games, MMORPGs or RPGs with this computer, but because you know you're not gonna have a fun time with that. All right, so let's discuss about the price. So for everything that I spent here, if I didn't change the motherboard, would have spent 420, 25, something like that. I'll just put it on I'll put it right here. but because we did kind of upgraded the graphics card, it wasn't on sale anymore when I buy that. The price came up to around 500 bucks. So that's it. If you do have any questions with regards to this build, you know, the parts or the case and my experience with building on the Cooler Master NR200, let me know in the comments down below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see videos like this in the near future. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and you will see me on the next one. Yeah, buddy.